Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos. And Manchester United have just lost at the Emirates by 2 goals to 0 against Arsenal. So this currently means now this is our first defeat in the Premier League under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and our 100% winning away record has currently come to an end. As I currently said, pretty disappointing result. To be quite honest with you, it is a big opportunity missed. To go 4 points clear ahead of Arsenal in that top four. So as it does stand now, Arsenal do go above us now. They've leapfrogged us, and they do go 2 points ahead of us in the current process. Obviously, it's a big opportunity, missed from our point of view, of course, as well, because obviously, Tottenham losing away at Southampton yesterday, we had the chance to go level on points with Tottenham. Of course, Chelsea dropping points today at home to Wolves as well. So really, it is very, very disappointing in the game. A lot of people saying, it was the ref that currently cost us in this game, as I said. So now that's 2 defeats in all competitions under Solskjaer, and that is our first defeat in the Premier League game, as I currently said. But going into the game, Solskjaer made numerous changes, obviously, from the Paris Saint-Germain game, of course. Matic come into the team, as I currently said. So he did make numerous changes, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, from Wednesday night, as I currently said. As he did say before the game, Solskjaer, Martial were going to be involved and all that, as he did say. He did say Herrera, but Herrera is currently still out, as I said. So yeah, he did say quite a few players, would be currently involved. So Arsenal won the game by 2 goals to 0 today, as I currently said. To be quite honest with you, I thought, obviously the first 25 minutes, Arsenal, were totally dominant in the first 25 minutes. Manchester United really, struggled to get out of the blocks in the first 25 minutes. Arsenal was sustaining attacks very, very well. They were first to every ball. They won a lot of last-ditch tackles. They were second. They won a lot of second balls. Did well. Did Arsenal? I thought, they maintained a lot of pressure through the likes of, Mesut Ozil, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. Who I do think are a fantastic partnership in Arsenal teams. Them two were causing all sorts of problems. For Smalling and Victor Lindelof at the back. Smalling today, I think this was his 200th Premier League appearance for Manchester United today. We saw obviously Young today making his 350 appearance as well for Manchester United, of course. Arsenal did take the lead in the first 12 minutes through Granit Xhaka, of course. It will be disappointing that David De Gea really, should have done better with that, to be quite honest with you. But to be quite honest with you, it was a very, very good finish from Xhaka, and that was in the first 12 minutes. Arsenal taking the lead, but the first 25 minutes, Arsenal totally dominated the game. We were really struggling to sustain attacks, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself is going to pinpoint, them big opportunities, Romelu Lukaku had in the game. He had one where he currently hit the crossbar, Romelu Lukaku. He had one when he tried rounding the goalkeeper, but, the goalkeeper got it. He had a big, massive opportunity in the second half as well, just at the start of the second half, Lukaku. Of course, Fred hit the post as well in the first half, so we did have chances of our own, so we had our moments in the game as well, but pretty disappointing, to be quite honest with you. I think, he's not going to officially, decide who finishes in the top four, because there's still quite a few games to go as well. But obviously, as I did say before the game, it could be crucial to our top four ambitions, and we've still got a great chance of progressing in the Champions League and all that. We could still potentially, win the FA Cup, as I currently said. But I say throughout the course of the game today, Arsenal had just shaded the game, especially in the first 25 minutes, because I thought we looked very, very impressive with Lukaku, because I thought he was the best player on the pitch today for Manchester United. He had like 3 big chances for Manchester United. I think he's looking very, very effective now. He's getting them runs in behind fantastically well. Is Romelu Lukaku, and he should have scored today, because in his last 3 games, he scored 6 goals, and he scored 2 in them games as well, Romelu Lukaku. So, he played very, very well today, and I think him and Rashford together up front, look very, very effective, both them indeed, because if you've just got Lukaku up top, he's not reliable enough to get, all them sprints and make them runs, but, if he's got someone supporting him like Marcus Rashford, I think, Lukaku does perform better. So I think he's better with alongside Rashford than he is on his own, Romelu Lukaku, as I said. But the first 25 minutes, I think, basically was the talking part of the game. I think that basically cost us, because, we look very, very slow in the midfield. We're very, very lethargic in the midfield. Matic, I thought, was very, very poor today. Obviously, just recovered from injury. I don't think Fred was that too good today either, to be quite honest with you. Luke Shaw did okay, but I think the 2 best players on the pitch, were definitely Lukaku and Rashford, without a shadow of a doubt. Rashford was obviously a threat as well. And, in the first 25 minutes, we struggled to sustain attacks, to be quite honest with you. But Aubameyang and Lacazette, had a good game, for Arsenal. I think the 2 front men of both teams, played really, really well. I think Aubameyang and Lacazette played well. I think Rashford and Lukaku for us, played very, very well indeed in the game as well. Sorry guys, internet gone off. Yeah, we're very slow. I think we were too passive in the opening 25 minutes and we're struggling to stay in attacks. Couldn't really cause any pressure, but I think Arsenal just shaded the game. They looked better on the counter attack than us did Arsenal as well. But the first 25 minutes, Arsenal were currently all over us. And after 25 minutes, Manchester United grew into the game. We started passing the ball a bit better and all that, and we started getting into the game a little bit. And as the game went on, I think we started to dominate the game. As I said, David De Gea should have done better, with that Xhaka shot, to be quite honest with you. Arsenal had a few chances of their own in the first half, and then second half came to quite honestly. Manchester United were lively in the second half. To be quite honest with you, we had chances in the second half, and I think in the second half, we played really well. To be quite honest with you, there's a lot of people saying that the referee cost us. Lukaku should have scored that chance in the second half as well. To be quite honest with you, I think he had the ball. The keeper would currently saved, but Lukaku should have hit it first time. There was talks of a possible handball as well. I think that was actually a handball. Was it from Koscielny or something like that in the current second half? But as the second half went on, as I currently said, it was a good, entertaining game of football. There was a lot of aggressiveness in the game. There was a lot, as I did currently say. But we were just really struggling to sustain attacks. We were lacking in that final third in the first 25 minutes, and after 25 minutes, we got back into the game. So Solskjaer, will be disappointed. To be quite honest, he will pinpoint out, them big chances, we had through Romelu Lukaku, as I said, and I think Lukaku is a very good player because he's looking very effective now. He's playing really well. It's just in the big games, he just seems to not take his chances, Romelu Lukaku, as I said. But more often now, Solskjaer's got to play Lukaku and Rashford up front because I think Lukaku's performances are better, when he's getting support up front. As I said, he did rotate a little bit, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Initially, he actually started with a 3-4-2-1, I think, and then he actually went with a 4-4-2. And then Solskjaer did bring a couple of substitutions on in the game as well. We saw obviously Anthony Martial coming into contention for Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot didn't do too bad, to be quite honest. I think he looks better in more of an attacking position, does Diego Dalot, than an actual right back, as I said. But Diego Dalot came off and Martial came on. We did see Mason Greenwood coming on as well for the Man Utd in the game. There was a lot of talking points about the penalty decision as well. I don't think that was a penalty, to quite honestly. I don't think that was a penalty. It was it Fred on Lacazette or something like that. I don't think that was a penalty, to be quite honest with you. But Fred had nudged Lacazette down. Arsenal got the penalty, I think, just before the 70th minute mark, and it was Aubameyang, that currently scored the penalty, and that was 2-0. Then obviously, we had a mountain to climb, and that, we were still pushing forward, applying pressure forward, to try and at least get ourselves back into the game. To be quite honest. But Arsenal have done really well at the Emirates this season, to be quite honest with you. They've only lost one game at the Emirates this season, and that was obviously at the start of the season against Manchester City. So the home form has been very good this season, especially in the Premier League, of course. But I am disappointed, with the result, but I'm not overall disappointed with the performance because the first 25 minutes I was really disappointed. I thought, Matic couldn't get anywhere near Mesut Ozil, in that midfield area. Matic had a really poor game. I think he backed off for Xhaka's first goal as well. Matic really should have sprinted towards him, so you could say Matic is at fault for that. But there again, David De Gea, to be quite honest with you, mainly should have done better, with that Xhaka shot. It was a really good goal. Was it like 25 yards out or something like that? But I think Xhaka had a good game for Arsenal. Ozil had a good game for Arsenal today. Aubameyang and Lacazette, I think, were the two best players on the pitch. And to be honest with you, I think they're a fantastic partnership, And most recently, he hasn't been going with Aubameyang and Lacazette as a partnership, Umra, to be quite honest with you. But they played really well for Arsenal today. There was exposure our defence, quite easily, to quite honest with you. Small, they were causing problems to Smalling and Victor Lindelof, and all that, with Aubameyang and Lacazette, and they do score goals. They lead the lines fantastically well, as I currently said. Also put a good performance in today for Arsenal as well. But yeah, Arsenal just shaded the game overall in the game, but Manchester United did put a decent performance in, apart from that 25 minutes, and I think that's the talking part. That's the main talking part. That first 25 minutes we were very poor. We wasn't energetic at all. Very static, as I currently said, and we were very poor in the first 25 minutes. Couldn't sustain any attacks. Couldn't really put any pressure on Arsenal, because Arsenal winning winning the balls, winning every last ditch tackles, winning them second balls as well. And Arsenal in the first 25 minutes, could have been maybe 2 or 3-0 up, because there was creating chances in the first 25 minutes. But Lukaku should have at least got 2 goals today. He had 3 big chances, and that could be proven costly as well in the game. That referee could have cost us as well in the game as well, because potentially I think Manchester United should have had a penalty at the start of the second half because Koscielny had handballed it. But obviously we know VAR is not being introduced yet to the Premier League. It will be coming to the Premier League next season with VAR. I think Rashford, he had a couple of opportunities of his own as well, did Marcus Rashford, and he looked very lively, did Marcus Rashford. Rashford. I think Rashford and Lukaku were the threat, to Arsenal, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, it's a disappointing result, as I currently said. So we did see subs come on, as I said. It was good to see Greenwood come on. We're good to see. We're good to see Greenwood come on in the game as well, and it was good to see Martial come on in the game as well. But don't forget, we have still got some injuries, as I currently said. Pogba didn't have his best game today, but he was okay. Was Paul Pogba as well? To be quite honest with you. But yeah, it's not. I am disappointed, because obviously, it's a missed opportunity, because we could have gone 4 points clear now, in top four, comfortably. Obviously we could have took advantage, of Tottenham losing, as I currently said, of Chelsea dropping points as well. But the top four is not over yet, as I currently said, and we need to get top four, obviously, of course, for next. We need to get top four so we can get Champions League for next season, of course, as well, so we can have a more competitive summer transfer window. Of course, that we know that investment is definitely needed into Manchester United without a shadow of a doubt, because we are lacking in key areas. We do need a strong central defender. We need someone on that right hand side without a shadow of a doubt. And we do need a centre defensive midfielder, that's fast and tenacious. As I said, but investment is needed. I still think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, will definitely, get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis, because he has done really, really well as Solskjaer, considering the injuries we've had, considering that we didn't spend any money, in the current January transfer window. I still think Solskjaer will get the Manchester job on a full-time. I know he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree at the moment overall, but he's done a terrific job at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. And we know Arsenal was going to be a difficult game today, as we all could know, because they're in good form at home at Arsenal. They're doing really, really well. And before this, we won our 2 previous visits to the Emirates Stadium as well. And there was unlucky not to win this fixture in the league last season, when we'd actually beat them 3-1, and they must have had like 30-odd shots on goal, something like that. Arsenal, from their perspective, still know that definitely investment is needed into their squad in the summer as well. So obviously from Arsenal's perspective, their only chance they've got this season of winning in silver is obviously the Europa League. I think Arsenal, to be quite honest, we will overcome that 2-goal deficit, against Rennes, and I do think Arsenal will probably win the second leg comfortably against Rennes as well. So they have want to win the Europa League, do Arsenal, to get automatic Champions League qualification for next season, or they want to get in the top four so they can get into the Champions League for next season, because investment is still definitely needed into their club as well. We saw Ramsey playing today. I thought Ramsey, again, he played very, very well, did Aaron Ramsey today as well. I thought he was sustaining quite a few attacks as well. But from my perspective, our best player on the pitch today was definitely Lukaku. Rashford had a good game as well, and there were the two threats to Arsenal, without a shadow of a doubt. But Solskjaer's obviously, I haven't seen his post-match interview, but he's going to pinpoint out, them Lukaku chances, as I said, and that wasn't a penalty, Arsenal's second, that wasn't a penalty. And even, obviously the pundits said on the TV, obviously, of course, it was very, very harsh, and, it was a harsh decision, given against us, to be quite honest with you. I think Lacazette, went down too easily, to be quite honest with you. I think Fred hardly touched him, from the view angle. I currently saw it as well. But yeah, it's a disappointing result, as I currently said. Obviously, Manchester United have got Wolves coming up in the Cup next week, as we all know, in the quarter-final in the FA Cup. But we can still win some silverware this season. We've got a great chance at the FA Cup. We've got a great chance of the Champions League as well. So if we win the Champions League anyway, we don't need to get top four anyway, to get into the Champions League for next season, of course, as well. But we have got a big chance, of winning the Champions League. But obviously against PSG on Wednesday night, as I currently said, we was really, really confident, that we could have come and beat Arsenal, today, considering that fantastic result we had against PSG on Wednesday night. Obviously making history in the Champions League as well, performing one of the greatest Champions League comebacks of all time as well. And obviously that now with Solskjaer as manager, obviously that's one of his most iconic moments. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager now, as we all know. When he was a player, one of his most iconic moments was obviously in the Champions League back in 1999, of course, as well. In that game, we had 10 first-team players out, but the performance wasn't good against PSG for the majority of the game, because they was exploiting us far too easily. They had a lot of chances, especially in the first half. They, had a lot of the possession as well, did PSG. In a way, people will say we was actually lucky, to get through against PSG. There were a lot of people saying, there were talks saying that wasn't a penalty, when Kim Pepe had currently hit his arm, was it his upper arm in the box as well. But I am disappointed, today, to be quite honest with you, because mainly we have got a very, very good record against Arsenal. But I think Unai Emery, has come into Arsenal. I think he's done a really, really good job, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's only his first season, as I said. It's only a transition season, for Unai Emery this season. Unai Emery is still in the process of, obviously, rebuilding the Arsenal team, of course, as well, because he still knows that investment is needed into their squad. They've done really, really well at home this season. They went 22 games unbeaten earlier on in the season as well. Did Arsenal. The record against the top six sides isn't good. all Arsenal's, as I currently said, but he's still in the process of rebuilding, of course, is Unai Emery, as I said. So obviously Arsenal will obviously want to get in Champions League for next season so that, that they can get some signings in the summer. And obviously I think they are going to get a spending spree to spend in the summer as well as Arsenal, of course. But Ramsey's still playing well, even though he's going to Juventus in his summer. And he's still giving it 100% to Arsenal. He's obviously been at Arsenal 11 years. This is 11th season now with Arsenal. Of course, he's made over 300 appearances. I think he scored 60-odd goals in all competitions as well. And I think he's a very, very good box-to-box midfielder. And I highly rate Aaron Ramsey. And this is his 11th season now with Arsenal. So he has been a long-serving player for Arsenal as well. I thought he played quite well today as well. Did Aaron Ramsey. Ozil again, I think Ozil, put a good performance out today as well. I think he was sustaining attacks very, very well. He was just playing behind Aubameyang and Lacazette today. Was Mesut Ozil as well. And obviously, as I did say, more recently, he's been getting more in the Arsenal team as Mesut Ozil of more recent, because the majority of this season, he's really struggled to adapt under Unai Emery. He's been dropped a lot by Unai Emery for the court since Unai Emery's come in. But I think most in Arsenal's most recent games, Ozil's found his way back into the team, and obviously Ozil said he didn't want to leave anyway because obviously he wants to remain loyal to Arsenal as well as Mesut Ozil. Obviously they want to see the best of him anyway from their perspective, because obviously he's on like the highest paid player there. He's on like £350,000 a week. Is Ozil as well. He is aging up, but Arsenal from their perspective, still know how much an essential player he is as well. But I'm gonna take a lot of positives from Manchester United today as well, because I thought after 25 minutes I thought someone's passing was good. We were building the momentum up in the game as well, and we started to like sustain some attacks. I thought, I thought Lukaku after 25 minutes, I thought, the likes of Lukaku were getting good service. Rashford, were getting good service as well. But in the first 25 minutes, we didn't play out of the blocks, and I thought we was very, very poor in the first 25 minutes. We wasn't in the game in the first 25 minutes because Arsenal, were putting pressure on us. In every area of the pitch, they were first to every ball. They won the last ditch tackles, as I currently have said, and Arsenal were dominant for the first 25 minutes. And then of course Manchester United came back into the game, and then at the start of the second half, we was firing on all cylinders as well at the start of the second half, because Lukaku had a big chance just at the start of the second half. There were chances that Rashford, could have taken as well. So we did have our moments in the game as well, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to pinpoint, them moments. That's probably cost us, the game, to be quite honest, because Lukaku should have had a hat-trick today, without a shadow of a doubt. For me, he was the best player on the pitch, Romelu Lukaku. But to be quite honest with you, he's going to pinpoint that out, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But obviously, to be quite honest with you, we have still got injuries. Herrera's still injured, as we all know. Lingard, of course, was a miss for Manchester United as well, because he's got a good goal scoring record against Arsenal in recent seasons, without a shadow of a doubt. So he is a miss as well, because he's got great bags of pace, as Jesse Lingard, to be quite honest with you. And I think he plays really, really well. Jesse Lingard, when he does mainly play on that right hand side, to be quite honest with you. I think he's close now to regaining full fitness as well as Jesse Lingard, so we still know that he's a miss. Herrera, of course, is still a miss as well. But yeah, so we have still got some current players injured. We know, of course, Juan Mata, of course, is still injured as well for Manchester United. He's got a hamstring injury. It's unknown, when Juan Mata's going to come back into the team. Of course, again, Eric Bailly didn't feature, as I didn't think Eric Bailly would feature anywhere, to be quite honest with you, because I think Bailly's still got great potential, and he has been in and out of the team, this season for Manchester United as Eric Bailly, to be quite honest, because we've had him since 2016, is it? When we got him from Villarreal. Of course, that was one of Jose Mourinho's first signings, of course, when Jose Mourinho was here. Eric Bailly's been in and out of the team this season, but as I did say, since Smalling has obviously, recovered from injury, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has obviously preferred Smalling and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership, and I do think, they had a good, they have been playing well, this season, and, since Smalling has recovered from injury, when he has been playing, which he's been playing in most recent games, Chris Smalling, I think his performances have really, really improved, to be quite honest with you. I think he got a bit exposed today, with the pace of Aubameyang and Lacazette, and all that as well, Chris Smalling. Lindelof wasn't really at today, to be quite honest with you, as we have seen of him, throughout the course of this season as well. But yeah, as I did say, Smalling and Lindelof has been obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's third option, as a centre back partnership, as I currently said. But will Bailly now find his way back into the team, or could he lose now his place in the team at Merritt Bay? Because obviously Rojo's recovered. I think he's recovered now from injury as Rojo as well, and he's versatile. He can play anywhere at the back as well. But I know Merritt Bay has still got great potential. As I said, Ashley Young didn't really have a great game today. Obviously, it's his 350th appearance for Manchester. It was his 350th appearance today for Manchester United as well. I think this was Chris Smalling's 200th appearance for Manchester United. I think in the Premier League, guys, at all competitions, I'm not too sure, to be quite honest. It may be all competitions, I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, these moments in that game, that could have cost us, today, the penalty decision, that for me, that wasn't a penalty. Maybe people are talking David De Gea should have definitely, done better with a Xhaka shot. David De Gea actually thought it was going the other way, and then the ball swirled and just went into the back of the net, to quite honest. So I was very, very shocked that went in. Obviously, Lukaku's chances as well, could have cost us in the game as well. So it is very, very disappointing indeed. But to quite honest with you, I still think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get the job at Manchester United, to be quite honest, because I think Manchester United set to open up contract negotiations with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer next week. I think it's going to happen tomorrow. Reports do say that it's coming out of the media saying that reportedly Manchester United are going to have contract negotiations with him. Reportedly, it did say he will be named Manchester United manager permanently at the end of the season. Reportedly, reports do say Manchester United are going to pay a compensation package of around £6 million to mould, obviously, to get obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on a full-time base, because initially at the moment we've paid 1.8 million, of course, to get him on a temporary basis as well. But reports coming out, obviously his annual salary is going to be around 7.5 million, as the media does explain. So obviously he's happy to accept half of currently what Jose Mourinho's wages, because Mourinho was on 15 million a year, of course, when he was here. But Solskjaer's happy, to accept a less wage package, as I said. But he is getting a big pay rise, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be quite honest with you, compared to what he was on at Mould, because he was only on £400,000 a year with Mould, and he's going to be on 7.5 million a year with Manchester United, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it is going to be a 4-year contract. I think he's going to be signing. I think it's worth around 30 million. I think it did say there's bonuses included. As well, reportedly as well. But I still think, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will definitely get the job. This won't change anything, this result today, because I thought in the game, we was unlucky in a lot of parts of that game today. But I think the 25 minutes probably might have cost us as well in that first 25 minutes, because we were poor in the first 25 minutes, couldn't really get the momentum going, as I currently said, couldn't really sustain any kind of pressure or sustain any kind of attack, even though at times on the counter-attack, we looked very, very dangerous, as I currently said. But I thought the midfield were, the majority of the midfield today was very, very poor, especially in that first 25 minutes. The midfield, just looked totally lethargic. Fred wasn't too good today. I thought Matic had a poor game today as well. He couldn't get anywhere near the likes of Ozil or Jacques. So I thought Matic was very, very poor today, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, so as I did currently say, yeah, so it's looking like anyway, still Solskjaer's going to get the job at Manchester United on a full-time basis. This won't lack our confidence. I hope this doesn't lack our confidence, and it doesn't, kill our momentum going into the Wolves game. And I don't think it will, because when we lost to PSG in the first leg, we didn't lose confidence, we didn't lack confidence. We carried on with it, and then we started getting positive results and positive performances. As I currently said, I am disappointed, that we didn't win that game today, as I said. But there's still a long way. There's still quite a few games left. There's about, is it 9 or 8 games left, or something like that. So these twists and turns, still to come yet. And as I did say, Arsenal are the team that can win one game, and then they'll probably go 2 games without a win or something like that. As I currently said, but they'll be very, very happy, because obviously now they've leapfrogged us. They're in the top 4 now. They're 2 points ahead of us now in that top 4 position are Arsenal as well. But for me, Solskjaer's definitely still the right man for Manchester United, in my opinion, because you can see the massive turnaround, since he's come into the club, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he will be, disappointed himself. He's a great player for 11 years, as I said. He's got 126 goals in all competitions as well, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think, he's the right man for Manchester United, as I said. He's obviously, managed a Manchester United reserve team, as I currently said, as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So he's watched his team now at this day and age, grow and develop, as I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course. So as it does stand now, it is 14 wins out of 18 now, because this was, I think this was our 18th game today under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Obviously, our 100% winning away record away from home has come to an end as well. And this is our first Premier League defeat under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. Of course, we know players are going to leave Manchester United in the summer as well. So obviously we're going to have to get some replacements in that scenario as well. Reports do say we're going to get around £200 million spend in the summer as well, and of course. We've got to still sort some players' contract renewals out as well. But yeah, we still need signings, for Manchester United. What players, can come in the summer as well, and that's the most important thing. And Solskjaer will have his say on our transfer plans in the summer as well. There's been a few players, that Manchester United, of course, have been linked with as well. Yesterday, obviously, in relation to Gareth Bale from Real Madrid. Reports are coming out in relation, to Gareth Bale, saying that according to Dan Bolin, the Spanish publication, they reportedly said that Gareth Bale had reportedly purchased an house in Manchester. Reportedly, it did allegedly say that he'd agreed personal terms with Manchester United ahead of a potential transfer to Manchester United. Gareth Bale reported, because we have been hearing the rumours since 2013 or something like that, and reports were saying that we was actually close to getting Gareth Bale, back in the David Moyes era as well. Obviously, this is his sixth season now with Real Madrid. Reports do say Manchester United are willing to pay £60 million for him, but from Real Madrid's perspective, they're demanding that they want around £100 million for Gareth Bale. So I can't see Real Madrid, potentially recouping the money, they paid for him from Tottenham back in 2013, which was around £86 million, or something like that. So really, I can't really see, Real Madrid, recouping the initial £86 million for him. Reportedly, they're demanding that they want around £100 million for him as well. But I wouldn't want Gareth Bale at Manchester United. He's still got a really, really good ratio. Don't get me wrong. He has now fallen down the pecking order as Gareth Bale, and obviously all the trophies he's won has obviously come as a Madrid player, as Gareth Bale. But I wouldn't want him. He's aging up. He's got a record of injuries, so he's injury prone as well as Gareth Bale. Of course, he's had experience of playing in the Premier League, and he's well Premier League proven, because he had 6 years with Tottenham. Did Gareth Bale? He began his youth career with Southampton as well. Did Bale? There has been talks that he could potentially, make a return back to Tottenham as well. There has been talks about that as well. There has been talks, that Chelsea at one point that Real Madrid wanted to actually, do business with Chelsea reportedly by selling, Gareth Bale, to Chelsea reportedly, because I think Real Madrid is still actually interested in Chelsea's Eden Hazard as well. And I think Chelsea without Eden Hazard, have got a lot of problems, to be quite honest. So Chelsea will probably keep him. They won't get rid of him in the summer, to currently considering, obviously they've got that transfer ban, they've got fined 460,000, did Chelsea well, they did appeal against the decision, to be quite honest with you, but I don't think they can do any transfer activity this summer or the January transfer window as well. And obviously, that was for breaching regulations around transfer of minors, as it did currently confirm. But Chelsea dropped points at home today to Wolves as well. But yeah, things going on about Gareth Bale, and he has been well in relation to Philippe Coutinho as well. So reports were coming out of the Manchester Evening News today, as I did see, before this game currently kicked off, the Arsenal Man United game, that reportedly Coutinho is reportedly interested in making a summer move to Manchester United, reportedly, because he's endured a very, very difficult time with Barcelona as Philippe Coutinho. We heard a narrative about this story, back in the January transfer window, that Manchester United were reportedly interested in Philippe Coutinho from Barcelona. He's only been at Barcelona just over the year now. I think he's been at Barcelona 13, 14 months now, Philippe Coutinho, but he's really, really struggled to establish himself, and he hasn't replicated that form at Barcelona. He hasn't replicated that form at Barcelona that he did do at Liverpool, because he was fantastic at Liverpool. He had 5 great years with Liverpool. As I said, the Philippe Coutinho. Reports are coming out in relation to Philippe Coutinho saying that reportedly he has spoken to our players, Manchester United players, about a potential move to Old Trafford. Reportedly, because I think Coutinho said he actually does miss the Premier League. Reportedly, reports do say he could be available for around, I think it said in the Manchester Evening News, I think, of what I saw, or it was in the Daily Mirror, something like that reportedly he could be available for around £86 million, or something like that. And he is still he's 26, so he's in his mid-20s, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him as Philippe Coutinho. But Manchester United, of course, have been interested in him as well. But reports it's off, but reports are saying that reportedly he's spoken. Why is that going off there? But reports but reports are basically saying that he's spoken to Manchester United players over a potential summer move to Old Trafford. Philippe Coutinho as well. Of course, the ex-Liverpool player. He had 5 great years with Liverpool. He used to play with Espanyol as well. Did Philippe Coutinho? Of course, I think he actually began his career with Inter Milan as well. Did Philippe Coutinho? But he's mainly an attacking mid. He can also play as a winger as well. We don't need an attacking mid. We need a winger, but he can actually operate as a winger as well. Can Philippe Coutinho? He is the third most expensive player in world football. Is Philippe Coutinho? Behind Neymar and Mbappe, because Barcelona paid around £142 million for him from Liverpool, as I currently said. So there has been a lot of talks going on that he could potentially, make a return to the Premier League as well. So there has been, a story, going on about that today as well. But he had 5 great years with Liverpool, and he played very, very well, when he was at Liverpool. But he's really struggled at Barcelona. He struggled for game time as well with Barcelona. So there has, been rumours, going on about that as well. And so very, very disappointing today for Manchester United. As I currently said, I'd say for the majority of the game, Arsenal did share the game. They sustained attacks very, very well. Especially through the likes of Ozil, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. They came out of the blocks, did Arsenal, in the first opening 25 minutes. Caused us all sorts of problems, exposed us at the back. With the pace of Aubameyang and Lacazette and all that. Arsenal were creating. They were creating chances as well in that first 25 minutes. And Manchester United didn't look really revved up in the first 25 minutes of the game. Very, very slow in the midfield. I think we still looked dangerous on the counter-attack, through the likes of, Lukaku played really, really well today. I'll give Lukaku credit because Lukaku played really, really well today. And obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously going to pinpoint them chances he missed, around Lukaku, because he should have at least took 2 of them big chances, he currently had. And I do think he actually hit the crossbar. Fred hit the post as well. So Fred was unlucky not to score in that part as well. But in the first 25 minutes, we were struggling to sustain attacks. And Arsenal, were applying a lot of pressure on us, as I said. And they were maintaining, they were maintaining a lot of attacks through the likes of Ozil, Aubameyang and Lacazette and all that. But after 25 minutes, we got back into the game. We started developing into the game. His movement was a bit better. He was galloping forward more. Getting bodies on the lines as well. So after 25 minutes, I thought, we really, really came back into the game. And, we started the second half really, really well, as well. To be quite honest with you, we did start the second half really, really well in the game. Lukaku had a big chance at the start of the second half. Lukaku should have scored that as well. There was a talks of a potential handball from Koscielny as well. I think that was a penalty in my opinion. So if obviously VAR now would have been introduced to the Premier League, that probably would have been given as a penalty, as I currently said. But obviously I don't think that was a penalty. Arsenal's second goal, it wasn't a penalty, as I currently said. I think it was a total wrong decision from the referee. Fred went in on Lacazette, but for me, that definitely wasn't a penalty. Aubameyang scored the penalty, and then obviously we had the mountain to climb. Then Solskjaer obviously, brought Martial on, brought Mason Greenwood on as well in the game. But very, very disappointing, as I said. So we do now drop to 5th. We sit 2 points behind Arsenal, as I said. But I did say it could be crucial for our top 4 ambitions. But as I did say on my preview, it won't officially announce it. It won't officially announce who's going to finish in the top 4 because there's still quite a few games to go, as I said, in the process. But we had our chance today, with Tottenham slipping up yesterday. They're winless in their last 4 Premier League games. With Chelsea slipping up today as well. We had that opportunity, to go further clear. We'd have gone 4 points clear of Arsenal today if we would have won that game, as I currently said. But yeah, very, very disappointing. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Tell me what you think to today's game. If you do consider subscribe to my channel as always, and take care. And we know Wolves is not going to be easy next week either, because Wolves have been playing really, really well this season. Wolves have played really, really well this season, especially what's his name under Nuno Santo or something like that. They've been playing really, really well. With him this season as well. I think they're sitting 7th in the league. Wolves, they've progressed to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup as well. So Wolves have had a really, really good season this season. So that won't be easy as we currently think as well. So anyway, as I did say, drop your comments, like on the channel. If you do consider subscribe.